Chapter 1. Early Life and Family. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City. He was the fourth of 5 children of Frederick Christ Trump, a successful real estate developer, and Mary Ann MacLeod, a Scottish immigrant. The Trump family lived in a comfortable house in the Jamaica Estates neighborhood, where Donald spent his early years. As a child, Donald was known for his energetic and assertive nature. His parents decided to send him to the New York Military Academy, NYMA, at the age of 13, hoping to instill discipline and structure in him. During his time at the NYMA, Trump excelled both academically and athletically, earning a reputation as a strong leader among his peers. After graduating from the NYMA in 1964, Donald enrolled at Fordham University in the Bronx. He spent 2 years there before transferring to the prestigious Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Trump chose to study economics, a field that would later become the foundation of his business career. He graduated from Wharton in 1968 with a Bachelor of Science degree in economics. Throughout his education, Trump displayed an aptitude for business and leadership, which would later pave the way for his successes in the real estate industry and beyond. His experiences during these formative years would shape the man who would eventually become the 45th President of the United States. The Trump family business, founded by Donald's paternal grandmother Elizabeth Trump and his father Fred Trump, was a successful real estate development company called Elizabeth Trump & Son. The company primarily focused on building and managing rental properties in the New York City boroughs of Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. After graduating from college, Donald joined the family business and started working alongside his father. Fred Trump was a talented and experienced developer, and under his guidance, Donald learned the ins and outs of the real estate industry. He gained valuable experience in negotiation, property management, and construction, skills that would serve him well in the future. In 1971, Donald was given the opportunity to take control of the company, which he renamed the Trump Organization. He soon decided to shift the focus of the business from rental properties to more ambitious, luxury real estate developments. With a keen eye for branding and a desire to create a name for himself, Donald sought to make the Trump name synonymous with high-end, luxurious living. Under his leadership, the Trump Organization expanded its portfolio with the development of various residential, commercial, and hotel properties. Some of the most notable projects during this time include the transformation of the Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt New York and the construction of the iconic Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. As the Trump Organization grew, so did Donald's reputation as a shrewd and successful businessman. His relentless pursuit of success in the real estate industry laid the groundwork for his future endeavors in entertainment, politics, and beyond. Throughout his life, Donald Trump has been known for his high-profile personal relationships. He has been married 3 times, with each marriage garnering significant media attention. In 1977, Trump married his first wife, Ivana Zelnikov, a former Czechoslovakian ski champion and fashion model. The couple had 3 children together, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. Ivana played a significant role in the Trump Organization, serving as the Vice President of Interior Design for the company and overseeing the interior design of various Trump properties, including the Trump Tower. However, their marriage ended in a highly publicized divorce in 1992, with reports of Trump's infidelity making headlines. In 1993, Trump married his second wife, Marla Maples, an actress with whom he had been involved during his marriage to Ivana. They had 1 daughter together, Tiffany. The couple's relationship was also a popular topic for tabloids and gossip columns. Trump and Maples divorced in 1999. In 2005, Trump married his third and current wife, Milena Nos, a former Slovenian model. The couple has one son together, Baron. Milena has maintained a relatively low profile compared to her husband, and has been involved in various charitable causes as the First Lady during Trump's presidency. In addition to his marriages, Trump has had several high-profile romantic relationships and has been linked to various celebrities over the years. His personal life has often been a topic of media interest, and his relationships have contributed to his image as a wealthy, glamorous, and controversial public figure. Chapter 2. Real Estate Empire. Donald Trump's real estate empire truly began to take shape in the late 1970s and early 1980s when he shifted his focus to Manhattan, the heart of New York City. With a vision of creating luxurious, high-profile properties, Trump set his sights on developing a series of signature buildings that would bear his name and become synonymous with upscale living. One of Trump's earliest and most notable Manhattan developments was the transformation of the dilapidated Commodore Hotel. In 1978, Trump negotiated a deal with the city to purchase and redevelop the hotel, which was located adjacent to Grand Central Terminal. He partnered with the Hyatt Corporation, and together they transformed the property into the impressive Grand Hyatt New York. The success of this project marked Trump's entrance into the Manhattan real estate scene and established him as a force to be reckoned with in the industry. In 1983, Trump completed one of his most iconic projects, Trump Tower. Located on Fifth Avenue in Midtown Manhattan, the 58-story skyscraper features a distinctive design with a glass and bronze exterior. Trump Tower includes luxury condominiums, high-end retail stores, and the headquarters of the Trump Organization. The building quickly became a symbol of Trump's ambition and success, further solidifying his reputation in the real estate world. Over the years, Trump continued to expand his Manhattan real estate portfolio with a number of other high-profile developments. These include Trump World Tower, Trump International Hotel and Tower, and Trump Place, a series of residential buildings along the Hudson River. Each of these projects contributed to Trump's growing prominence in the real estate market, not only in New York City, but also on the global stage. After establishing himself as a major player in Manhattan's real estate market, Donald Trump began to expand his empire across the United States. With his keen business sense and flair for branding, Trump targeted key cities and regions to develop a variety of properties, including hotels, resorts, and golf courses. In the late 1980s, Trump ventured into the world of casinos and acquired several properties in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The most notable among these were Trump Plaza, Trump's Castle, later renamed Trump Marina, and the Trump Taj Mahal. At the time, these casinos were considered some of the most luxurious gaming establishments in the city. However, due to financial struggles and mounting debt, Trump eventually sold or closed these casinos in the 2000s. In addition to his ventures in Atlantic City, Trump also pursued real estate projects in other parts of the country. Some of these developments include Trump Tower Chicago, a luxury hotel and condominium building located along the Chicago River, and Trump National Doral, a golf resort in Miami, Florida. These properties expanded the Trump brand's reach and solidified its association with high-end luxury experiences. Throughout the years, Trump has also developed and managed a number of golf courses and resorts under the Trump Golf brand. These properties can be found in various locations across the United States, including Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and even internationally in places like Scotland and Ireland. As Trump's real estate empire grew, so did his influence and presence in the world of business. His expansion across America showcased his ambition and drive, and it positioned him as a prominent figure in the world of luxury real estate development. Not content with merely dominating the American real estate market, Donald Trump set his sights on expanding his empire internationally. With the goal of solidifying the Trump brand as a global symbol of luxury and prestige, he embarked on several ambitious projects around the world. In 2001, Trump ventured into the international real estate market with the construction of Trump World Tower Seoul, a pair of luxury residential buildings in South Korea. This project marked the beginning of his global expansion, showcasing his commitment to creating high-end properties beyond the United States. Trump continued his international pursuits with the development of several golf courses and resorts in various countries. In 2006, he acquired the Menny Estate in Aberdeenshire, Scotland, with the intention of building a luxury golf resort called Trump International Golf Links, Scotland. Despite local opposition and environmental concerns, the resort opened in 2012 and has since hosted numerous golf tournaments. In addition to Scotland, Trump has developed golf courses in Ireland, Dubai, and Indonesia, further establishing the Trump golf brand as a global presence. These international ventures have allowed the Trump organization to tap into new markets and attract wealthy clients from around the world. Moreover, Trump has also pursued licensing agreements that have led to the construction of Trump-branded properties in various countries, including Turkey, the Philippines, and India. Through these deals, developers pay to use the Trump name on their buildings, capitalizing on the brand's association with luxury and status. While not all of his international ventures have been successful, Donald Trump's ambitious expansion into the global real estate market has undoubtedly contributed to his reputation as a powerful and influential business magnate. His relentless pursuit of success and his flair for branding have allowed the Trump name to become synonymous with luxury living worldwide. Chapter 3. The Art of the Deal. In 1987, Donald Trump co-authored Trump, The Art of the Deal with journalist Tony Schwartz. The book, part memoir and part business advice, provides insights into Trump's rise to prominence in the real estate world, along with his personal philosophies and strategies for achieving success. The Art of the Deal delves into Trump's early years, his experience working with his father in the family business, and his transition to Manhattan real estate development. The book also details various projects that Trump undertook, including the construction of Trump Tower, the redevelopment of the Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt New York, and his ventures in Atlantic City. Throughout the book, Trump emphasizes the importance of persistence, negotiation, and self-promotion in achieving success in business. He shares anecdotes and tips from his own experiences, highlighting his unique approach to deal-making and his ability to turn challenging situations into profitable opportunities. The Art of the Deal quickly became a bestseller, remaining on the New York Times bestseller list for 48 weeks and selling over 1 million copies. The book's success propelled Trump's public persona as a successful businessman and skilled deal-maker, further elevating his profile in the media and popular culture. In addition to its commercial success, The Art of the Deal has been referenced by Trump throughout his political career, with many of his supporters citing the book as evidence of his business acumen and ability to negotiate on behalf of the United States. The book's impact on Trump's career and reputation is undeniable, and its lessons continue to resonate with readers seeking insights into his approach to business and life. The Art of the Deal provides a glimpse into the business strategies that Donald Trump employed to build his real estate empire and expand his brand. Throughout the book, Trump emphasizes several key principles that he believes are crucial to achieving success in the world of business. Some of these strategies include: think big. Trump encourages readers to set high goals and not be afraid to pursue ambitious projects. He attributes much of his success to his willingness to think big and take on challenging ventures, such as the construction of Trump Tower and the redevelopment of the Commodore Hotel. Maximize your options. Trump stresses the importance of being flexible and open to various opportunities. By keeping multiple options on the table, he explains, one can be better positioned to negotiate and make the best possible deals. Protect the downside and the upside will take care of itself. Trump emphasizes the importance of minimizing risk and being prepared for potential setbacks. By focusing on the potential downside of a deal, he argues that one can make more informed decisions and better protect their investments. Use leverage. Trump highlights the power of leverage in negotiations. By understanding the needs and desires of the other party and using that knowledge to one's advantage, he explains, one can achieve more favorable terms in a deal. Enhance your location. Trump believes that location is crucial to the success of a real estate project. He recommends investing in properties with high potential for growth and working to enhance the surrounding area to increase the value of the investment. Promote yourself. Trump is well known for his self-promotion, and he considers it an essential aspect of his success. He encourages readers to cultivate a strong personal brand and to actively promote their achievements to garner attention and build credibility. These business strategies, along with others detailed in The Art of the Deal, provide insights into how Donald Trump approached his real estate ventures and built a brand that would become synonymous with luxury and success. These principles have shaped his career and continue to influence his endeavors in both business and politics. One of the key takeaways from The Art of the Deal is the importance of publicity and branding in achieving success. Throughout his career, Donald Trump has been a master of self-promotion, leveraging media attention and public interest to further his business endeavors and elevate his personal brand. In the book, Trump emphasizes the power of publicity, explaining that getting noticed is crucial in the world of business. He recounts numerous instances where he strategically used the media to promote his projects and generate buzz, such as the opening of Trump Tower and his ventures in Atlantic City. Trump also highlights the importance of creating a strong personal brand, which he has done by associating his name with luxury, quality, and success. By consistently delivering high-end properties and ensuring that his projects live up to the standards associated with the Trump name, he has built a brand that people recognize and trust. In addition to real estate developments, Trump has also utilized his branding prowess in various other ventures. For instance, he has licensed his name to a wide range of products, including clothing, fragrances, and home furnishings, as well as to other developers' buildings. This has allowed him to capitalize on the value of his brand without having to invest in the actual development or production of these items. Furthermore, Trump's success in reality television, most notably with The Apprentice, further demonstrates his ability to leverage his personal brand and public persona. By showcasing his business acumen and larger-than-life personality, he has attracted millions of viewers and further solidified his image as a successful and savvy businessman. In The Art of the Deal, Trump's emphasis on publicity and branding serves as a valuable lesson for aspiring entrepreneurs and business people. His ability to generate media attention, create a strong personal brand, and leverage his public image has played a significant role in his success, both in the world of real estate and beyond. Chapter 4. The Reality TV Star. In 2004, Donald Trump entered the world of reality television with the premiere of The Apprentice on NBC. The show, created by Mark Burnett, featured contestants competing in various business-related tasks to win a one-year $250,000 contract to work for one of Trump's companies. The Apprentice provided a platform for Trump to showcase his business acumen and decision-making skills, while further solidifying his personal brand. As the show's host and executive producer, Trump played a central role in the series, making the final decision on which contestants would be fired and ultimately selecting the winner. The show's format, which included weekly tasks, boardroom showdowns, and Trump's famous catchphrase, "You're fired," quickly became popular with viewers. The contestants, often from diverse backgrounds and professions, were challenged to work together in teams to complete tasks ranging from creating advertising campaigns to organizing charity events. Over the course of its initial 14-season run, The Apprentice spawned several spin-offs, including The Celebrity Apprentice, which featured well-known personalities competing for their chosen charities. The success of these shows further bolstered Trump's image as a successful businessman and demonstrated his ability to entertain and engage audiences. The Apprentice and its spin-offs not only provided entertainment, but also gave Trump a national platform to connect with millions of viewers. His presence on the show significantly increased his visibility and public recognition, ultimately setting the stage for his entry into the world of politics. The show's success and Trump's role as the central figure reinforced his image as a decisive leader and savvy dealmaker, characteristics that would later become central to his presidential campaign. The Apprentice not only made Donald Trump a household name, but also introduced several catchphrases and memorable moments that contributed to the show's popularity and cultural impact. Trump's larger-than-life personality and his unique way of speaking resonated with viewers, making the show a ratings success and further enhancing his public persona. Perhaps the most famous catchphrase from the show is Trump's iconic line, "You're fired." This phrase was used by Trump in the boardroom as he eliminated contestants from the competition. The blunt and direct nature of this phrase, combined with Trump's distinctive delivery, made it a memorable and oft-repeated line in popular culture. Another catchphrase that gained popularity from the show was, "It's not personal, it's just business." This phrase encapsulated Trump's approach to decision-making on the show, emphasizing that his choices were based on performance and merit, rather than personal feelings or relationships. These catchphrases, along with others from the show, became synonymous with Trump and The Apprentice, contributing to the series' cultural impact and appeal. The show consistently drew high ratings throughout its run, with the first season finale attracting over 28 million viewers. This success solidified Trump's status as a reality TV star and demonstrated his ability to captivate audiences with his unique style and presence. The high ratings and cultural impact of The Apprentice played a significant role in shaping Trump's public image in the years leading up to his presidential bid. The show allowed him to connect with a wider audience and showcase his leadership skills, decision-making abilities, and business expertise, all of which would become crucial aspects of his political campaign. The catchphrases and memorable moments from the show continue to be associated with Trump and serve as a testament to the power of television in shaping public perception. As The Apprentice grew in popularity, so did Donald Trump's celebrity status. The show transformed him from a well-known real estate mogul into a mainstream television personality, garnering him widespread recognition and fame beyond the world of business. This newfound celebrity status played a significant role in shaping Trump's public image and laid the foundation for his eventual entry into politics. Trump's celebrity status opened doors to various opportunities, allowing him to expand his brand and capitalize on his fame. He made numerous guest appearances on talk shows, news programs, and even scripted television series, further increasing his visibility and public profile. Trump also made cameo appearances in films such as Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Zoolander, and 2 Weeks' Notice. In addition to his television and film appearances, Trump's celebrity status led to various endorsement deals, product launches, and speaking engagements. He leveraged his fame to promote a wide range of products, including Trump-branded clothing, fragrances, and home furnishings. He also authored several books on business and success, building on the popularity of The Art of the Deal. Trump's status as a reality TV star and celebrity also impacted his personal life. He became a regular fixture in the tabloids and gossip columns, with his marriages, relationships, and family life often making headlines. This constant media attention further cemented Trump's position in the public eye, making him a recognizable figure to millions of Americans. As a result of his celebrity status, Trump developed a loyal following of fans and admirers who were drawn to his confident and charismatic persona. This fan base would later become a crucial part of his political campaign and support base. Ultimately, Trump's rise to fame as a reality TV star played a significant role in shaping his public image and setting the stage for his unexpected and unconventional entry into the world of politics. Chapter 5. The Road to the White House. On June 16, 2015, Donald Trump announced his candidacy for President of the United States, entering the race as a Republican candidate. The announcement was made at Trump Tower in New York City, with Trump descending the building's escalator to address the gathered crowd and media. Trump's entry into the presidential race was met with a mix of surprise, skepticism, and intrigue, as many people questioned whether his candidacy was a publicity stunt or a genuine attempt to win the presidency. However, Trump's celebrity status, combined with his outsider status in the world of politics, allowed him to capture the attention of the media and the public. During his announcement speech, Trump laid out the key themes that would become the foundation of his campaign, including a focus on immigration, trade, and national security. He also emphasized his business background and deal-making abilities as qualifications for the highest office in the land. Trump's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again," struck a chord with many voters who felt disillusioned with the political establishment and the direction of the country. From the outset, Trump's campaign was marked by a series of controversial statements and unconventional tactics. He frequently used social media, particularly Twitter, to communicate directly with the public and bypass traditional media channels. This approach allowed him to control the narrative and generate a constant stream of news coverage. Despite facing criticism and opposition from both within and outside the Republican Party, Trump's anti-establishment message and celebrity appeal resonated with a significant portion of the American electorate. As the campaign progressed, he defied expectations and emerged as the front-runner in the Republican primary, ultimately securing the party's nomination in July 2016. Trump's announcement of his candidacy marked the beginning of a tumultuous and historic presidential campaign that would eventually lead him to the White House. The 2016 Republican primaries were marked by a crowded field of candidates, with 17 major contenders vying for the party's nomination. Despite facing experienced politicians and prominent figures within the Republican Party, Donald Trump's outsider status, celebrity appeal, and unconventional campaign tactics propelled him to the forefront of the race. Throughout the primaries, Trump's campaign was characterized by a series of controversial statements, policy proposals, and heated exchanges with other candidates. He challenged the Republican establishment and questioned the credibility and qualifications of his opponents, often using colourful nicknames and sharp criticism to dominate the media narrative. As the primaries progressed, Trump won a series of key states, including New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Nevada, solidifying his position as the frontrunner. His populist message and anti-establishment stance resonated with many Republican voters who felt disenfranchised and frustrated with the political status quo. Despite facing opposition from within the Republican Party, as well as the efforts of the Never Trump movement, Trump continued to accumulate delegates and rack up victories. By May 2016, his remaining opponents, Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Ohio Governor John Kasich, suspended their campaigns, effectively securing Trump's position as the presumptive Republican nominee. The 2016 Republican National Convention took place in July in Cleveland, Ohio. There, Trump officially received the party's nomination for President of the United States, with Indiana Governor Mike Pence as his running mate. Trump's victory in the Republican primaries demonstrated his ability to defy conventional political wisdom and mobilize a broad base of support among the electorate. The conclusion of the Republican primaries set the stage for a contentious and polarizing general election campaign, pitting Trump against the Democratic nominee, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. The race would prove to be one of the most divisive and closely watched presidential contests in modern American history. The 2016 general election campaign saw Donald Trump face off against Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton, a seasoned politician and former Secretary of State. The race was marked by a series of controversies, personal attacks, and heated debates, making it one of the most contentious and divisive presidential campaigns in modern American history. Throughout the campaign, Trump continued to employ his unconventional tactics, using social media to communicate directly with voters and bypass traditional media channels. He also held numerous campaign rallies, drawing large crowds and energizing his supporters with his populist message and outsider status. One of the defining moments of the general election campaign was the release of the Access Hollywood tape in October 2016, which featured Trump making lewd comments about women. The tape's release prompted widespread condemnation from both Democrats and Republicans, with many calling for Trump to withdraw from the race. Despite the controversy, Trump remained in the race and continued to focus on key campaign issues, such as immigration, trade, and national security. The three presidential debates between Trump and Clinton were highly anticipated and closely watched events, with both candidates engaging in heated exchanges and presenting starkly different visions for the country. While Clinton emphasized her experience and policy expertise, Trump positioned himself as an outsider who would disrupt the political establishment and bring change to Washington. Throughout the campaign, many polls and pundits predicted a victory for Clinton. However, on Election Day, November 8, 2016, Trump secured an unexpected victory by winning key battleground states, including Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Ultimately, Trump won the Electoral College with 306 votes to Clinton's 227, though Clinton won the popular vote by nearly 3 million votes. Trump's victory in the general election marked a stunning upset and a major realignment in American politics. His success demonstrated the appeal of his populist message and outsider status, as well as the deep divisions within the country. The 2016 election would have lasting implications for American politics, with Trump's presidency bringing about significant changes in policy and discourse. Chapter 6. The 45th President. On January 20, 2017, Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States, taking the oath of office in a ceremony held at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. Trump's inauguration marked the beginning of a new era in American politics, with his administration set to enact a series of significant policy changes and navigate a deeply polarized nation. In his inaugural address, Trump reiterated his campaign promise to put America first and vowed to bring power back to the American people. He painted a picture of a country in need of change, emphasizing the need to restore jobs, rebuild infrastructure, and strengthen national security. Upon taking office, Trump quickly began to assemble his administration, appointing a mix of political insiders, business leaders, and military officials to key positions. Some notable appointments included Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State, James Mattis as Secretary of Defense, and Stephen Mnuchin as Secretary of the Treasury. Trump also appointed several family members to influential roles within the White House, including his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, as a senior advisor and his daughter, Ivanka Trump, as an advisor. During his first days in office, Trump took a series of executive actions aimed at fulfilling his campaign promises. These actions included withdrawing from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, ordering the construction of a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, and instituting a controversial travel ban on citizens from several Muslim-majority countries. Throughout his presidency, Trump's administration was marked by a high turnover rate, with numerous officials resigning or being dismissed from their positions. This constant reshuffling led to periods of instability and uncertainty within the administration, as well as increased scrutiny from the media and public. Despite these challenges, Trump's administration succeeded in implementing several key policy initiatives, such as tax reform, deregulation, and the appointment of conservative judges to federal courts. Trump's presidency also saw a shift in the United States' approach to international relations, with the administration taking a more confrontational stance towards countries like China and Iran, while also engaging in diplomatic efforts with North Korea. Trump's inauguration and the early days of his administration signaled a significant departure from previous administrations, both in terms of policy priorities and governing style. The decisions made during this time set the stage for a presidency that would be marked by controversy, accomplishment, and an ongoing struggle to navigate a deeply divided nation. Throughout his presidency, Donald Trump pursued a range of domestic policies aimed at fulfilling his campaign promises and advancing his vision for the United States. Key areas of focus included economic policy, healthcare, immigration, and social issues. Economic policy. One of Trump's most significant domestic achievements was the passage of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in December 2017. This legislation overhauled the federal tax code, lowering corporate tax rates and providing temporary tax cuts for individuals. Trump also pursued a policy of deregulation, rolling back numerous environmental, financial, and workplace regulations with the aim of boosting economic growth and job creation. Under Trump's administration, the U.S. economy experienced a period of growth, with unemployment rates reaching historic lows prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Healthcare. Trump campaigned on the promise of repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act, ACA, also known as Obamacare. While efforts to repeal the ACA in Congress were unsuccessful, the administration took several actions to weaken the law, such as eliminating the individual mandate and cutting funding for outreach and enrollment programs. Trump also signed several executive orders aimed at increasing transparency in healthcare pricing and expanding access to telemedicine and short-term insurance plans. Immigration. Trump's administration took a hardline stance on immigration, implementing a range of policies aimed at securing the U.S. border and reducing both legal and illegal immigration. These policies included the construction of a border wall, the implementation of the travel ban, and the controversial family separation policy. Trump also sought to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, program, which protected certain undocumented immigrants who were brought to the U.S. as children from deportation. Social issues. Trump's administration adopted conservative stances on various social issues, such as reproductive rights, LGBTQ+ rights, and gun control. The administration took steps to restrict access to abortion, rescinded protections for transgender students, and largely opposed new gun control measures. These domestic policies have far-reaching impacts on various aspects of American life, shaping the nation's economy, social fabric, and political landscape. While some of Trump's policies were praised by his supporters for their focus on national security, economic growth, and conservative values, they were also met with significant opposition and criticism from those who viewed them as divisive, harmful, or regressive. Part 3. Foreign Policies. Donald Trump's tenure as the 45th President of the United States was marked by a distinct shift in the nation's approach to foreign policy. His America First doctrine prioritized American interests and often favored a more confrontational and transactional approach in international relations. Key areas of focus included trade, diplomacy, and military engagements. Trade. Trump's administration pursued a protectionist trade policy aimed at addressing perceived trade imbalances and protecting domestic industries. Early in his term, Trump withdrew the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, and renegotiated the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, resulting in the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. The administration also engaged in a trade war with China, imposing tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods, leading to retaliatory actions from China. Diplomacy. Trump's approach to diplomacy was often characterized by his personal relationships with foreign leaders and a willingness to engage with both allies and adversaries. He held historic summits with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, becoming the first sitting U.S. president to meet with a North Korean leader. Trump also pursued a closer relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin, which drew criticism from both Democrats and Republicans. On the other hand, his administration took a hardline stance towards Iran, withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal and imposing new sanctions on the country. Military engagements. Trump's administration oversaw a shift in U.S. military engagements around the world. He increased the deployment of troops in Afghanistan early in his term, before later negotiating a peace agreement with the Taliban and beginning the process of withdrawing American forces. Trump also ordered military actions in Syria, such as the missile strikes in response to the Syrian government's use of chemical weapons. Under Trump's leadership, the United States played a key role in the defeat of the Islamic State, ISIS, in Iraq and Syria. Additionally, Trump pushed for NATO members to increase their defense spending, arguing that the United States was shouldering an unfair burden in the alliance. Trump's foreign policy approach generated a range of reactions both at home and abroad. While some praised his efforts to prioritize American interests and break from traditional diplomatic norms, others criticized his policies as isolationist, erratic, or damaging to the United States' international standing and relationships with its allies. Ultimately, Trump's tenure as the 45th president saw a significant shift in the nation's approach to foreign policy, with lasting implications for global politics and the United States' role in the world. Immigration. Trump's administration took a hardline stance on immigration, implementing a range of policies aimed at securing the U.S. border and reducing both legal and illegal immigration. These policies included the construction of a border wall, the implementation of the travel ban, and the controversial family separation policy. Trump also sought to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, program, which protected certain undocumented immigrants who were brought to the U.S. as children from deportation. Social issues. Trump's administration adopted conservative stances on various social issues, such as reproductive rights, LGBTQ+ rights, and gun control. The administration took steps to restrict access to abortion, rescinded protections for transgender students, and largely opposed new gun control measures. These domestic policies had far-reaching impacts on various aspects of American life, shaping the nation's economy, social fabric, and political landscape. While some of Trump's policies were praised by his supporters for their focus on national security, economic growth, and conservative values, they were also met with significant opposition and criticism from those who viewed them as divisive, harmful, or regressive. Donald Trump's tenure as the 45th President of the United States was marked by a distinct shift in the nation's approach to foreign policy. His America First doctrine prioritized American interests and often favored a more confrontational and transactional approach in international relations. Key areas of focus included trade, diplomacy, and military engagements. Trade. Trump's administration pursued a protectionist trade policy aimed at addressing perceived trade imbalances and protecting domestic industries. Early in his term, Trump withdrew the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, and renegotiated the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, resulting in the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. The administration also engaged in a trade war with China, imposing tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods, leading to retaliatory actions from China. Diplomacy. Trump's approach to diplomacy was often characterized by his personal relationships with foreign leaders and a willingness to engage with both allies and adversaries. He held historic summits with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, becoming the first sitting U.S. president to meet with a North Korean leader. Trump also pursued a closer relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin, which drew criticism from both Democrats and Republicans. On the other hand, his administration took a hardline stance towards Iran, withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal and imposing new sanctions on the country. Military engagements. Trump's administration oversaw a shift in U.S. military engagements around the world. He increased the deployment of troops in Afghanistan early in his term, before later negotiating a peace agreement with the Taliban and beginning the process of withdrawing American forces. Trump also ordered military actions in Syria, such as the missile strikes in response to the Syrian government's use of chemical weapons. Under Trump's leadership, the United States played a key role in the defeat of the Islamic State, ISIS, in Iraq and Syria. Additionally, Trump pushed for NATO members to increase their defense spending, arguing that the United States was shouldering an unfair burden in the alliance. Trump's foreign policy approach generated a range of reactions both at home and abroad. While some praised his efforts to prioritize American interests and break from traditional diplomatic norms, others criticized his policies as isolationist, erratic, or damaging to the United States' international standing and relationships with its allies. Ultimately, Trump's tenure as the 45th president saw a significant shift in the nation's approach to foreign policy, with lasting implications for global politics and the United States' role in the world. Chapter 7. Impeachment and Acquittal. In September 2019, a whistleblower complaint surfaced, alleging that President Trump had improperly solicited foreign interference in the 2020 U.S. presidential election, during a phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The complaint claimed that Trump had pressured Zelensky to investigate his political rival, then Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden, and his son Hunter Biden. It was also alleged that the Trump administration had withheld military aid to Ukraine as leverage. In response to these allegations, the Democratic-led House of Representatives launched a formal impeachment inquiry into President Trump. The inquiry involved multiple hearings, where current and former government officials testified about the administration's actions regarding Ukraine. Several witnesses corroborated the whistleblower's claims, asserting that there was an effort to pressure Ukraine into announcing investigations that would benefit Trump politically. As the impeachment inquiry unfolded, the White House and Republican lawmakers criticized the process as partisan and unfair, arguing that the president had not engaged in any impeachable offenses. Trump repeatedly dismissed the inquiry as a witch hunt and claimed that his phone call with Zelensky had been perfect. After weeks of testimony and investigation, the House Intelligence Committee released a report concluding that President Trump had abused his power by soliciting foreign interference in the upcoming election and had obstructed Congress' efforts to investigate the matter. The House Judiciary Committee then drafted 2 articles of impeachment against Trump, charging him with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. In December 2019, the House of Representatives voted to impeach President Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, making him the 3rd president in U.S. history to be impeached. Following the impeachment, the process moved to the Senate for a trial, which began in January 2020. The Senate trial was presided over by Chief Justice of the United States John Roberts, with the House impeachment managers serving as prosecutors, and Trump's defense team presenting arguments on his behalf. The trial centered around the evidence and testimony gathered during the impeachment inquiry, as well as legal and constitutional arguments about the definition of high crimes and misdemeanors, and the appropriateness of the charges against Trump. Throughout the trial, the Senate was deeply divided along party lines, with most Republicans arguing that the charges against Trump did not rise to the level of impeachment, and that the process was a partisan effort to remove him from office. Democrats, on the other hand, contended that Trump's actions represented a clear abuse of presidential power and a threat to the integrity of U.S. elections. A key point of contention during the trial was whether or not to call additional witnesses and request further documents. In the end, the Senate narrowly voted against hearing from new witnesses, with only 2 Republican senators, Mitt Romney and Susan Collins, breaking ranks and voting in favor of additional testimony. After weeks of deliberation, the Senate ultimately voted to acquit President Trump on both articles of impeachment. The final vote on the abuse of power charge was 52 to 48, with Senator Mitt Romney becoming the first senator in history to vote to convict a president from his own party. The vote on the obstruction of Congress charge was 53 to 47, falling short of the 2/3 majority required for conviction and removal from office. The conclusion of the impeachment trial marked a significant moment in Trump's presidency, with the acquittal reinforcing the deep partisan divisions within the United States and setting the stage for a contentious 2020 election. Following his acquittal in the Senate trial, President Trump emerged with a renewed sense of vindication and defiance. He continued to insist that the impeachment process had been a politically motivated witch hunt and used the outcome as evidence of his resilience in the face of partisan attacks. Trump's acquittal had significant implications for both the remainder of his term and the 2020 election campaign. The impeachment and trial process deepened the political polarization in the United States, with Trump's supporters rallying behind him and his opponents becoming more determined to defeat him in the upcoming election. Post-acquittal, Trump's approval ratings experienced a temporary increase, reflecting a sense of victory among his supporters. He also became more emboldened in his actions, with the administration dismissing several key impeachment witnesses from their positions, including Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Weinmann and Ambassador to the European Union Gordon Sondland. The president's actions following his acquittal further solidified the narrative of two sharply divided camps within the American electorate. As the 2020 election approached, the impeachment trial remained a prominent point of contention and rallying cry for both Trump's supporters and his opponents. Although Trump was not removed from office, the impeachment and acquittal had lasting effects on his presidency and political legacy. The process served as a testament to the deeply divided political climate in the United States and set the stage for an intense and contentious election season. Chapter 8. Legacy and Impact. Donald Trump's presidency will be remembered as a time of significant change, marked by a series of controversies and achievements that shaped the course of American history. His time in office was characterized by a confrontational approach to politics, an unconventional governing style, and a number of policy accomplishments that resonated with his supporters. Controversies. Russia investigation. Trump's presidency was overshadowed by the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, led by Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Although the investigation did not establish a criminal conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia, it did result in several indictments and convictions of Trump associates. Impeachment. As previously discussed, Trump was impeached by the House of Representatives on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, stemming from his efforts to solicit foreign interference in the 2020 election. He was later acquitted by the Senate, but the impeachment process deepened the partisan divide in the country. COVID-19 pandemic. The Trump administration's response to the COVID-19 pandemic drew significant criticism for its perceived lack of urgency, coordination, and adherence to public health guidelines. The U.S. experienced a high number of cases and deaths, with Trump's handling of the crisis becoming a key issue in the 2020 election. Achievements. Economic growth. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S. economy experienced a period of growth under Trump's administration, with low unemployment rates and a record-breaking stock market. Trump's tax cuts and deregulation efforts were credited by some for stimulating economic growth, although critics argued that these policies disproportionately benefited the wealthy and corporations. Judicial appointments. Trump appointed 3 justices to the Supreme Court: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, significantly shifting the court's ideological balance to the right. He also appointed numerous conservative judges to federal courts, which will have a lasting impact on the American legal landscape. Foreign policy. Trump's foreign policy accomplishments included the normalization of relations between Israel and several Arab nations through the Abraham Accords, the renegotiation of trade agreements, and the defeat of the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Overall, Trump's presidency will be remembered for both its controversies and achievements, with his legacy continuing to shape American politics and society for years to come. The 2020 U.S. presidential election was one of the most contentious and polarizing in modern history, with the nation deeply divided between President Trump and his Democratic challenger, former Vice President Joe Biden. The election was significantly shaped by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, widespread civil unrest over racial injustice, and concerns about the integrity of the electoral process. The pandemic dramatically altered the dynamics of the campaign, with both candidates adapting to new methods of campaigning, such as virtual events and socially distanced rallies. The Trump campaign continued to hold in-person rallies despite public health concerns, while the Biden campaign largely relied on virtual events and smaller gatherings to reach voters. The election saw a record-breaking voter turnout, with more than 159 million Americans casting their ballots. The increased use of mail-in and early voting, driven by the pandemic, led to an extended vote-counting process in some key battleground states. As the results trickled in, Trump claimed victory prematurely and began to allege widespread voter fraud, despite a lack of evidence to support his claims. Ultimately, Joe Biden was declared the winner of the election, securing 306 electoral votes to Trump's 232. Trump refused to concede, insisting that the election had been stolen from him through widespread voter fraud. His legal team launched numerous lawsuits in various states, challenging the results and seeking to overturn them. However, the vast majority of these lawsuits were dismissed due to lack of evidence, and multiple recounts and audits confirmed Biden's victory. The aftermath of the 2020 election saw tensions between Trump's supporters and opponents reach new heights, culminating in the January 6, 2021, attack on the U.S. Capitol by a mob of Trump supporters seeking to prevent the certification of the Electoral College results. The attack resulted in the deaths of several people and led to a second impeachment of Trump by the House of Representatives, this time on charges of incitement of insurrection. Trump was acquitted by the Senate once again, but the events surrounding the election and its aftermath left a lasting impact on American democracy and further solidified the deep divisions within the country. Trump's refusal to accept the election results and his role in inciting the Capitol attack have become defining aspects of his legacy, raising questions about the future of American democracy and the long-term consequences of his presidency. Donald Trump's presidency has had a profound and lasting impact on American politics, reshaping the political landscape in ways that will be felt for years to come. His unique approach to governance, communication, and political strategy has influenced both major political parties and altered the nature of political discourse in the United States. The Republican Party. Trump's rise to power signaled a significant shift within the Republican Party, moving it away from traditional conservative principles and towards a more populist, nationalist platform. The party has become more focused on cultural issues, anti-establishment sentiment, and loyalty to Trump as an individual, rather than adherence to a specific ideology. Trump's influence has led to the emergence of a new generation of Republican politicians who embrace his style and messaging, suggesting that his impact on the party will continue even after his time in office. Political discourse. Trump's use of social media, particularly Twitter, to communicate directly with the public has changed the way politicians interact with their constituents and the media. His confrontational and often controversial statements have contributed to the erosion of political norms, leading to increased polarization and a more combative tone in American politics. The mainstream media's focus on Trump's personality and rhetoric has also played a role in shaping political discourse, with news coverage often centered on sensationalism rather than substantive policy discussion. Populism and nationalism. Trump's presidency has brought issues of populism and nationalism to the forefront of American politics, with his America First agenda resonating with a segment of the population that feels disenfranchised and left behind by globalization and cultural change. Trump's rhetoric on immigration, trade, and international relations has fueled the rise of nationalist sentiment in the U.S., with potential long-term implications for domestic and foreign policy. Conspiracy theories and misinformation. Trump's embrace of conspiracy theories and his propensity for spreading misinformation have had a significant impact on American politics. His promotion of unfounded claims, such as the deep state conspiracy and widespread voter fraud in the 2020 election, has contributed to the erosion of trust in institutions and the spread of conspiracy thinking among his supporters. Political engagement. Trump's presidency has sparked a surge in political activism and engagement, both among his supporters and his opponents. His polarizing presence has motivated many Americans to become more involved in the political process, whether by attending rallies, volunteering for campaigns, or running for office themselves. This heightened level of engagement is likely to persist in the post-Trump era, as the issues and divisions that defined his presidency continue to shape American politics. In summary, Trump's presidency has had a profound and lasting impact on American politics, altering the nature of political discourse, the direction of the Republican Party, and the issues that define the nation's political landscape. His influence is likely to be felt for years to come, as the country grapples with the consequences of his time in office and the divisions it has laid bare.